Hi there, everybody. So I decided to hop on today, even though I'm really busy today. It's just like, a bit head spinning, but it's all good. I have a lot of energy today. So I'm hopping on to speak about the lies we tell ourselves. I was going to speak about spiritual idolatry, and that will come soon, but I just have got this stronger calling to speak to the lies we tell ourselves. And I'm going to, in order to create context, I'm going to share an anecdote, just to help sort of, lay everything out there. So some years ago, about 10, 12 years ago, I think, I was working with a woman in the US who was just wanting some help to get clear about her working life. She wanted to change career paths and all of those things. And so I was giving her some pointers on what that would look like and so on and so forth. And in the kind of course of the few sessions I had with her, I realized there was a much bigger issue that needed some light shining onto it. But because she did not want to go there, I respectfully said what I needed to say, but left that alone. The kind of overview of what that looked like is that this woman was a professional woman. She was part of a spiritual community. She really wanted to be in a long-term relationship with a man who could see her and value her. Yet she had been, for want of a better term, dating a married man, and obviously only able to access him and to see him when he wasn't meeting his family obligations. And the thing is that she did not see the irony or the conflict, or I don't know what you call it, in that she is someone that prided herself on standing up for truth, and yet she was in a relationship that wasn't based on truth, because the man obviously was lying to his wife about where he was going. He wasn't available to this woman, so she was only seeing him once in a while, and yet she was essentially keeping her own life on hold in order to accommodate this man whenever he had some free time. And so she really was not seeing that if you stand 100% behind truth, you have to live it in all aspects and areas of your life. You can't pick and choose and be kind of present yourself as being spiritual when you're in with your meditation group, and yet essentially running around with someone else's wife and not living true and not being honest and not being authentic and open in her relationship dealings. So I'm sharing that to say, a friend on Instagram sent me a message a few days ago, and she asked me to speak to a theme that she would like to get some clarity on. So I'm just going to read a little bit of what she shared, because this also links to what I've just been saying. And she said, could you do a podcast on soulmates and whether they are for a lifetime or for a limited time only? Do we have one according to our soul contracts, or can there be many? Do they always teach a lesson, sometimes a hurtful one? There is so much misconception around it. People use twin soul, twin flame, karmic partner, soulmate, etc. And I'm not sure how many of us really understand this. And then she says there's so many definitions being used, and this twin flame thing has really become a business on its own. It's incredible. And most importantly, to connect the topic with shadow work, will we meet a soul or twin only after finishing shadow work. So there's quite a lot there to sort of consider and contemplate. First of all, I wouldn't usually touch this theme with a barge pole, largely because there isn't much resonance within me, because I've always been very fortunate. I have a very happy and long-lasting marriage and partnership with my husband. And even prior to that, the few men I did date were really good men, good people, good hearts, you know, poets and musicians and so on and so forth. It's kind of spiritually oriented men. And the reason I ended those relationships is because I had to be 100% honest, and I knew that my kind of path in life or journey for going forward was not with them. So I ended the relationships. But all of that said, what I will say in response to those many questions is that you can really, and relating to what I started with that story about that woman, is you can honestly only ever attract someone into your life who can see you if you're able to see yourself. If you don't know who you are, if you are, you know, in truth in one area of your life but living a lie in another area of your life, and there's kind of dysfunction there, no matter what you do and you're not being honest with yourself, you know, even if, for example, this woman did end the relationship with a married man, unless she recognizes what she's been doing to herself and the way she's done it to herself and why she hasn't honored herself and the importance of owning who she is, then she will attract those disowned or unhealed parts within herself in the form of a new partner. And this is true with everyone. You know, those aspects of our life, our own being, our own darkness that we haven't accepted and we haven't acknowledged and met and greeted and worked with, will show up in the form of another person. And this is why, and I know that you all know this is true because we see evidence of it with friends or family members that just keep making the same mistakes again and again and attracting the same sort of person into his or her life, that, you know, and it just doesn't work. So this is why, once again, doing shadow work, engaging with shadow work, is so vitally important if we wish to live in truth with who we are, to engage with the world from a place of authenticity, and to, if we're looking for a partner, to attract someone in who can see us. And he obviously would only be able, or she would only be able to see him or herself if they can see who they are. But at least if they don't clearly see, if you're seeing who you are and you value who you are and you're speaking and expressing from that place, there's more opportunity for him or her to come to that place of recognition also, because this is how it works. When we see ourselves, we're able to see a seeming other, and so this recognition goes and grows. So I'm going to leave it there. As always, if you wish to share anything or ask questions, please feel free to do so below. You can also find me on Instagram at Julie Hoyle Official, or you can email me at truealignment@yahoo.com. And last but not least, if you haven't subscribed, please do so. You know, this is why I'm on here, to share and to respond to themes and questions that I'm asked to speak to. And I really love doing it. And I love helping people wake up one person at a time. So as always, keep shining bright. I send you many blessings and much love. Be well, be happy. Thank you for listening. I really appreciate it. And I will see you again soon. Bye.